The following may contain language that is not suitable for all audiences.
All right, everyone. Thank you for finding us. This is the Low Facts Podcast, and I was listening to the radio a couple of weeks ago, and I was listening to what a friend of mine likes to call American Pravda.
Which I love.
And the funny thing was some guy, I forget what that guy's title was, but he was really just kind of bemoaning the fact that there's a lack of trust in the things that we're supposed to trust. You know, like we're supposed to trust the CDC. We're supposed to trust this. We're supposed to trust that.
Oh, NPR, the guy in NPR was saying this?
Yeah, whoever that the reporter had on. And the reason why I thought it was so funny was because all these people who decide that we're supposed to trust these institutions, they're the ones that eroded the trust. Not them personally, but the people of their ilk. Right?
Yeah, their behavior.
So, you know, which leads me to many questions, like, how can you trust the science when science has been politicized? I'm still supposed to trust it? I mean, it's not like this is a religion, right? Because in religion, no matter how badly the people fuck it up, the religion still stays.
So, with science, it can be gone?
Well, not necessarily.
Well, it can be...
No, because the scientific process is not really a religion. It's always about being challenged. Nothing's ever established and nothing's ever settled.
But science gets treated like... People treat it like a religion now.
That's not science's fault. Just like in the religion, right?
I would say it's scientists' fault, though.
Well, yeah, that's the people. That's the people that fuck it up, just like the religious stuff.
I mean, it's a little depressing.
Why is it depressing? Because people aren't infallible? I mean, that's really what you're saying, right?
I don't know. I always thought scientists were different.
From?
Regular people.
Why?
I always thought science would be about purely science, betterment of humanity, all that stuff.
Yeah, that's a crock of bullshit.
I didn't think that it would be so political.
That's like thinking that all priests are holy.
I'm not saying that. That's just how I used to. I thought science was.
I'm saying that that's kind of dumb. In that you're basically thinking that people can what? That people can outgrow their nature? That people can discard?
Yeah.
Like all people.
But if you're doing something...
If that were so, then there would not be such a thing as a devil-worshipping priest, as some people think there is. I believe that we are all corruptible. I have not been disappointed. And I don't care who you are. When you get into a large bureaucratic organization or have any amount of power, then you're corrupted. Boom. And it plays out repeatedly in every situation, whether it be a secular one or a religious one. And to think, and
it's fucking depressing, though, man.
Well,
it's the fucking point.
There is none.
If people are so fucking political, if everything's political,
it can be. I'm not saying it is, but
no, you are saying that everything's political.
No, I'm saying I say we're all corruptible. Political. That again is a choice.
Sorry, cramp.
Must be menstrual.
It's not a menstrual cramp. Oh.
But people sitting there, the scientists and the folks that aren't scientists are always talking about trusting the science. Here's a statistic that should make you shit your pants. 70% of scientists cannot replicate someone else's results on a scientific experiment. 70%.
Are you pulling this out of your ass?
No.
Statistic?
It's a statistic that was quoted to me.
How is that possible?
Because people lie. Over 50% of people can't replicate their own scientific experiments.
See, when I hear that, I'm like, that can't be true.
Okay, then it isn't.
No, but I'm just like, that's
your answer to everything. Oh, that can't be true. Oh, it must be something. So basically, you're going off some gut intuition, and again, it hasn't been established that your intuition is any good. In fact, if anything, what has been established is your intuition is crap.
You don't know that?
Yes, I do. In this instance, I do. Because
how can a scientist not replicate their own experiment?
Well, I say it's out of one of either it's one of two things, and I would choose to say it was a mistake rather than someone making shit up.
So there was some mistake in the experiment.
Yeah.
Which they're not aware of that there was a mistake.
Which is what the meaning of mistake is.
And so what does that say about the results then?
They're incorrect is all it really says.
It says that they're incorrect a lot.
Well, it says they're incorrect, and, because I choose not to put any intention on anything, it's just incorrect.
It's true, you don't put intention on a lot of stuff.
So, if someone's sitting there telling me that I need to start fucking trusting the science, then maybe if scientists can replicate other scientists' experiments at more than 30% of the time, and I'm needing more than a preponderance of an evidence standard here. I'm looking for like clear, cogent evidence, or beyond reasonable doubt. So at the point where scientists can replicate their own experiments and other scientists can replicate other scientists' experiments at a rate above 90%, then maybe I'll start trusting the science, quote unquote. But this is the day and age where people throw meaningless words around, right? So you can't just sit there and say you need to trust the science when all you are is full of shit.
You're not painting a very pretty picture of science.
No, I'm not painting a very pretty picture of people.
Of scientists.
No, of people, period.
Full stop.
You start walking the talk, then okay. But until then, you're just some Grabasstic piece of amphibian shit walking around trying to make me trying to trick me into thinking you're cool.
Grabasstic amphibian piece of shit.
Grabasstic piece of amphibian shit.
Wait.
That's from a movie.
Something that got shit out by an amphibian?
I've heard so many military statements, put downs, and swears that it's really just not worthwhile trying to figure any of them out. and mind you, a lot of them have been made up a long time ago, so, Yeah,
a lot of the stuff that you've thrown around over the years, I'm just like, what is he talking about?
It's just probably been repeated over and over, like football bat.
Right.
Soup sandwich.
Soup sandwich is a good one.
I like that. Better than a hot mess.
I used that at work the other day and someone was like, what now?
But yeah. So, yes, I'm not painting a very pretty picture of people because we need to do better. Can we? I don't know. Is it worthwhile trying? Yes. I'm not the type of person that sits there and thinks, oh, because you can't reach a certain point, it's not worth it. I mean, that's dumb. That is about as stupid as you can get. Because if that were true, then really life would be meaningless. Everyone's going to die. So, who cares? Who cares whether it's in utero when you're a month old or 1,000 years old? It don't really matter. You're dead. Death is coming for everybody. Does that mean you shouldn't try your best in life? I don't think so. But, if you think, oh, well, I'm going to die anyway, so I really should try, then fine. And because I'm not a very religious person, like you can go somewhere and just kind of disappear yourself. I really don't care.
Really?
What?
You wouldn't care?
I'm not an incredibly nice person. So if it's someone that I don't know, never heard of, don't know of anything, that doesn't hurt my life.
Yeah,
I'm too stupid to care about I'm too stupid to want to care about stuff that I can't really see or control. What do I care? What atrocity is going on in some far off foreign land? I would only care if it affects me in my land. And is that very selfish and short-sighted? Yes, but I'd never proclaim to anybody that I was not selfish.
Yeah, that's true. And
I never proclaimed to anybody that I was incredibly far-sighted.
What does that mean, far-sighted?
I don't know. I thought it means you can only see things far away.
Mm. No, I think it means something different.
But yes, I think people, especially the relativists, like to think of the human being, the human person, as the pinnacle, the zenith of all creation. And if we are, then I would say creation's pretty shitty. If the best you got is this.
Yeah.
If the best you got is some kid living in his mom's basement watching porn all day long.
Yeah.
Because I'm also a strong proponent of you're only as strong as your weakest link. And, that guy doing that, I think is a pretty weak link. Oh, okay, let me add smoking pot. Pot smoking, mom's basement living, Doritos eating, porn watching, jerking off son of a bitch. I don't think that that's a very strong link in the chain of humanity. So, that or anyone lower is really what you need to judge all of humanity on. Oh, shit. But, you want to talk about team and all that stuff? Well, I always learned that on your team, you're only strong. You're only as strong as your weakest link. And if your weakest link is pretty damn weak, then your team's shit. Now, does that person doing nothing?
What do you do with the weakest link, though?
Inspire that link to grow stronger, because we are not inanimate objects. And luckily, we could
like motivate.
Right. Try to motivate a piece of chain link, see what happens. Nothing. But motivate a person, I think that can happen. That is the only redeeming factor of us. We can get better. We can be better. Whether or not we choose to, that's a whole other story. And the fact that we don't choose to does not weaken our potential.
Really?
Yeah.
So that guy, the example of the guy you're talking about?
Yeah, he could get a wild hair up his ass and be like, you know what? I'm going to do something. And if it's his fate, he can. Even if it's not your fate, is it worthwhile trying? Hell yes. Is it always worthwhile? Well, no. At a certain point, you'll get to a certain age where, no, it's not going to help anything. You're pretty much fucked. And I know of which I speak. I'm at that age. Ain't nothing new happening for me. But, for someone who is at least half my age, then yeah, you can do pretty much anything. Want to go to med school? Yeah, it could happen.
How can you say that?
Want to join the army? Because it's true.
Yeah.
If you don't believe that about yourself, that's totally fine. I'm not going to burst your bubble.
You just did. No, you didn't.
If me talking about my life burst your bubble, then your life probably isn't worth that much.
I just don't happen to agree with you.
Did I say you had to?
No.
What's the problem?
I don't know. I always have a problem when you talk like this.
Well, a lot of people do. A lot of females do, oddly enough. I'm like, I'm not talking about you.
Well, but you might as well be.
I'm not talking about you.
But you're talking about people being past their point of being past their prime.
I don't know when their prime is.
Well, it's obviously when they're younger.
I know what statistically my prime is.
Hmm.
And, there you have it. You don't have to believe what I believe. If I have to believe what you believe, then there's a problem with your philosophy.
Well,
if your belief in your philosophy hinges on whether or not I believe it, there's a problem with your philosophy.
All right.
Right?
Yeah.
And yeah, statistically, I'm past my prime. I'm past all this. There's really nothing happening for me. Does that mean that nothing can happen? No, miracles can happen. Am I going to sit here and bank on one? Well, there's a reason why they're called miracles, right?
Whenever you put forth this philosophy, which is your philosophy, I always have like an adverse reaction to it. It's really weird.
I suppose it's weird, but again, like I said, if my belief in your philosophy affects your belief in your philosophy, then there's something wrong with your philosophy.
But you're basically saying at this point it's going to have to be miraculous.
It is.
Well, that's like grim.
How many quadriplegics get up and walk?
I have no idea.
I'm gonna sit there and go out on a limb and say almost none.
It's probably like one person ever.
Maybe not even that many. If it happens, that's a damn miracle. Praise be to God. Amen, amen, amen. Now, am I saying that I'm the equivalent of a quadriplegic or a paraplegic? No. But am I saying it's going to be really difficult for something to happen for me, even given extra help? Yeah. Not given divine help, because, you know, the divine can make everything happen. You know, earthly help, right?
Yeah.
Why does my seeing that? I mean, that's like saying if you get hit by a car going 50 miles an hour, you will probably die. Does that depress you?
Does that elicit the same kind of response?
Right. If you're standing on the street and some car hits you and that car's going 50 miles an hour, you will probably that person getting hit by that car, getting struck by that motor vehicle will probably die, correct?
Yeah.
Why does that not affect you the same way? Because one is pretty much fact and the other one is fiction? You think what I think is fiction?
No. I just think it's like...
You think what I think is negative?
Yeah.
Why? Because if you thought like that, you would be negative?
Yeah.
Then you're making an assumption that you and I are the same.
No, I'm not.
Sure you are. Because okay. Oh, you're right. I missed a step. Do you think that what I think is negative?
No, you don't think it's negative.
Okay, I don't think it's negative, but you think it's negative, and because you think it's negative, you think I should think it's negative.
Well, yes.
Then you're saying that I am the same as you.
No, I'm not.
Sure you are. In that instance, in that line of thought, why is it that is not negative for me, but it's negative for you, and you think that I should think it's negative too?
Because it is negative.
So what you think is, and what I think is bullshit. Well, again, the main point being, do you think that I think it's negative?
No, I don't think you believe it's negative. But it is negative.
Why?
Because it's just like a grim. It's like grim.
Why?
Because it's like it's over. The chances of stuff happening is so slim at this point.
Right.
I think that's just...
So if you told a 42-year-old woman who'd never had kids, the chances of you having kids are pretty low. That she should be able to jump up and down on your throat being like, you're fucking negative.
No, I don't know.
Do you think that is being negative?
No, it's just being realistic.
But, okay, why is it realistic in one sense and negative in another? Why are you trying to subsume me under you?
I don't know.
Like, sure you do. If you don't want to say it, I mean, it's because you think you're superior, right? I mean, only a person who thinks they're superior would sit there and think shit like that.
No, it's because I haven't... It's because I look at my situation and go, well, there's still a good chance of good stuff happening.
Okay, fine. I didn't say that there wasn't for you.
Yeah, that's true.
So, again, why is it that, I need to think like you about my frickin' life?
I don't know.
Because the way I think about my life is the way I think about your life? Is that what you're thinking?
No, I don't know.
If it is, here's some news for you. I don't think about your frickin' life. And anybody else that would sit there and think that. Anytime somebody sits there and says, well, you can't say that about yourself. What about me? Bitch, I ain't thinking about you.
Man.
I should say that, but, I don't. But I always found that kind of odd. You can't think about that way about your life. Why not? It's my freaking life.
Yeah, I don't know.
And then to have the temerity to sit there and bring up your life.
I can't help where my mind goes.
What in tarnation makes you sit there and think, I'm thinking about your life?
I don't know, dude.
I'm not talking about you in particular. In this instance, I kind of am. But there are people that say that, right? And that's what I want to say. What makes you sit there and think I'm thinking about your life? I don't care about you.
It's even worse.
I care about you as much as you care about me. And you don't care about me at all, even though you sit there and talk about how much you care about me. That's another thing. I wish people would stop pussyfooting and bullshitting around about that stuff. I care. Bullshit.